Magandang araw mga mag-aaral! Panibagong araw na naman ito para matuto! Ako si Teacher James ng Mulugan National High School. Ako ang makakasama ninyo sa pagtuklas sa mundo ng matematika at mga gamit nito sa pang-araw-araw na buhay. Handa na ba kayo? Kung gayon, huwag nang magpatumpik-tumpik pa. Simulan na natin ang ating paglalakbay. Tara na!
The topic for today is all about data management in statistics and probability. So what is statistics? It is a branch of mathematics that deals with data collection, organization, analysis, interpretation, and presentation. It involves data collection, which is the procedure of collecting, measuring, and analyzing accurate insights for research using standard validated techniques like surveys and interview. Then we also have data organization, which refers to the method of classifying and organizing datasets to make them more useful. It can be applied to physical records or digital records. In this process, reordering or analyzing the arrangement of data items in a physical record are done. The next one is data analysis. It is a process of inspecting, cleansing, transforming, and modeling data with the goal of discovering useful information, informing conclusion, and supporting decision making. This is the procedure of performing statistical operations like measures of central tendency like mean, median, and mode. Next process is the interpretation of data, which is the process of assigning meaning to the collected information and determining the conclusion, significance, and implication of the findings. This involves taking the result of data analysis to arrive at relevant conclusion. Lastly, the presentation of data. This refers to the organization of data into tables, graphs, or charts so that logical and statistical conclusions can be derived from the collected measurements. Presenting data involves the use of different graphical techniques to visually show the audience the relationship between the different data sets or emphasize the nature of particular aspect of data. So let's define descriptive statistics. It gives us information or help describe the characteristics of a specific data set by giving short summaries about the sample and measures of the data. So what are the basic statistical concepts? The first one is a population. A population consists of the totality of the observation. And we have a sample. A sample is the part of the population. A variable is any characteristics, number, or quantity that can be measured or counted. We have two kinds of variables, the qualitative variables and the quantitative variables. The qualitative variables, also called as categorical variables, are variables that are not numerical. It describes the data that fits into categories. The quantitative variables, however, are numerical. It can be ranked and has an order. Quantitative variables can be classified further into discrete variables and continuous variables. A discrete variable is a variable whose value is obtained by counting. For example, number of students present, number of red marbles in a jar, number of heads when flipping 3 coins, students' grade level. While the continuous variables can assume an infinite number of values between any two specific values. They are obtained by measuring and often include fractions and decimal. For example, the height of students in class, the weight of students in class, time it takes to get to school, and the distance traveled between classes. This time, we will discuss the types of statistical data. The first one is numerical data. This data have meaning as a measurement such as person's height, weight, IQ, or blood pressure, or shares of stocks a person owns. The second one is the categorical data. It represents characteristics such as a person's gender, marital status, hometown, or the types of movies they like. We have 4 levels of measurement. The first one is the nominal. The nominal data are used to label variables without any quantitative value. Examples are colors of the eyes, yes or no response to a survey, favorite breakfast cereal, and number on the back of the football jersey. The second one is ordinal. The ordinal data is a categorical where the variables have natural, ordered categories, and the distance between the categories is not known. The key with ordinal data is to remember that ordinal sounds like order, and it's the order of the variables which matters, not so much the difference between those values. Examples are high school class rankings such as 1st, 9th, and 87. Another examples are socioeconomic status such as poor, middle class, and rich. Another is the Likert scale, which is strongly agree, disagree, neutral agree, strongly agree. Another example is the level of agreement, such as yes, maybe, and no. Or also the time of day, which includes dawn, morning, noon, afternoon, evening, and night. The third level of measurement is the interval. It deals with data that can be ordered and in which differences between the data does make sense. But the data at this level has no starting point. So say for example is the Celsius temperature, the Fahrenheit temperature, the IQ, the SAT score, or time on a clock with hands. Interval data is fun and useful because it's concerned with both the order and difference between the variables. This allows you to measure standard deviation and central tendency. The fourth level of measurement is the ratio. This is the highest level of measurement. This data possess all of the features of the interval level in addition to an absolute zero. Ratio data tells us about the order of variables, the difference between them, and they have that absolute zero, which allows all sorts of calculations and inferences to be performed and drawn. Ratio data is very similar to interval data, except zero means none. For ratio data, it is not possible to have a negative values.
Magaling, magaling, magaling! Masaya ako at nakasama ko kayo sa edisyong ito. Samahan niyo ulit ako sa susunod na kabanata. Ako ulit si Teacher James na nagsasabing kung kaya ng iba, kaya mo. Kaya manatiling matyaga upang matuto ng matematika. Hanggang sa muli,